Sothatha itrack ishute ke inkomo lapha yodwa.
Ngosithatha apha isiqiniseko sokuthi abantu bamaphephile.
Uliphinde lento ishilo.
Wangacedo lethe boyaka. Otlampana handle. Tlali.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Outlaws Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 7 picks up in Okabeni with Bandile rounding up some men and artillery ahead of the hostage exchange with Tlali. Uncle Emmanuel begged his nephew to give Tlali the cows and get his son back, with Bandile promising to return with both Mthunzi and the cows, one of which had a tracker planted. Meanwhile in Lesotho, Buang tended to Mthunzi's wounds after the lashing he received from Tlali. The couple flirted as Mthunzi tried to convince her to run away with him, but unbeknown to them, Nyakallo spotted them sharing this moment together. Buang was then subjected to a humiliating punishment for allowing the hostages to escape, with Tlali and his followers smearing cow dung on her face as a helpless Mthunzi watched on. Bandile arrived in Lesotho and informed the Outlaws that he wouldn't need their assistance during the hostage exchange, despite their best efforts to convince him otherwise. However, Leroux met with the top 4 elders where he informed them that Bandile was planning to ambush Tlali. The elders rejected Bandile's help, blaming the Outlaws' in-laws for bringing violence to their doorstep. Leroux insisted that despite his erratic behavior, Bandile could help, and revealed that Sitle had recently treated one of the elders' nieces, Lita. Meanwhile, Sitle and Lita were checking out a potential location for their new clinic when 2 thieves tried to rob Sitle. Lita, who was wielding a rifle, managed to scare them away after firing a warning shot. However, the thieves got away with Sitle's phone. Back at Tladi's hideout, he prepared his troops for the hostage exchange. Tladi's followers, led by Leroux's former protege, Musa, arrived at the exchange spot where Bandile was waiting. At a different location, the hostages were released to Spamola, and once he had confirmed they were all on board, Bandile released the cows to Tladi's followers. However, when Spamola arrived in Okabeni with the hostages, Mthunzi was not amongst them as his father desperately questioned where he was. Back in Lesotho, it was revealed that Nyakallo was the one who kidnapped Mthunzi during the hostage exchange. Nyakallo then ordered Buang to shoot Mthunzi, and the episode ends with a gunshot going off while Mthunzi begged for his life. Episode 8 picks up after Buang couldn't bring herself to shoot Mthunzi despite her sister's orders. Tlali arrived shortly after, questioning why Mthunzi was still there. He pulled Nyakallo aside to interrogate her, giving Buang the opportunity to free Mthunzi. He once again asked her to come with him, but she refused, with the couple sharing their first kiss before Mthunzi made a run for it, promising to come back for her. Buang then shot herself in the leg and claimed Mthunzi did it before he made his escape. However, Nyakallo questioned how Mthunzi got out of his restraints and later warned her against falling in love with the enemy, reminding her that she was once in a relationship with Leroux. Meanwhile in KZN, an angry Uncle Emmanuel confronted Spamola for not returning with his son, accusing him of selling Mthunzi to the Basotho. Aunt Deli defended Spamola, but Emmanuel accused her of being happy that Mthunzi was missing. He then continued attacking Spamola before Nolandla arrived to break it up. Back in Lesotho, Bandile and Leroux led a coalition army of Zulu and Basotho men sent by the top 4 as they tried to recover the cows which had been paid to Tlali as ransom, with the tracker revealing that Tlali had already sold most of the cattle to a buyer in the Free State. However, they soon received a call from Uncle Emmanuel informing them that Mthunzi did not make it back with the other hostages. Meanwhile, Mthunzi navigated his way through the mountains and encountered the 2 thieves who stole Sitle's phone. They tried to rob him as well, but Mthunzi beat them up before retrieving his cousin's phone, which he returned to her when he encountered the group which was still searching for the cattle they exchanged for the hostages. Mthunzi revealed that he suspected that the cows were being taken to the kraal that he had just recently escaped from. He directed them to the kraal where they found what was left of their cattle. However, Tlali had already received word and deployed his troops with shoot-to-kill orders. A shootout between the 2 groups then ensued, with Mthunzi and Buang shooting at their own people to protect each other. Tladi's followers were overpowered and began taking massive losses. The episode ends with a shaken Tlali ordering his troops to retreat immediately. That was another action-packed installment from Outlaws, and definitely one of my favorites of the season so far. Tlali won't take this defeat lightly, but like I speculated last week, it might increase the possibility of his followers rebelling. I suspect that Tlali and Nyakallo will use Buang as a honeypot to lure Mthunzi back so they can once again use him as some sort of ransom or maybe to set a trap for Bandile. I love how Mthunzi and Buang kept stealing moments together, which made their kiss feel earned. We also suggested last week that Sihle might as well open up a clinic with all the people that she was already treating, and I'm glad that the show didn't waste time. It will also provide another location for the show's events to take place. The scene where Sihle got robbed is very reminiscent of how Lita and Sihle met last season. On her first visit to Lesotho, two thieves tried to rob her before Lita arrived, chasing the thieves away with a warning shot. I would have to check, but it might even be the same thieves. They were great comedic relief in what has been a pretty tense start to the season. It was also revealed that Lita's uncle is part of the top 4, which I think suggests she will be more involved this season. I can also see her and Spamola coupling up actually. Maybe they knew each other back in high school. Just something, because for sure I'm sure they know each other from when Spamola lived amongst the community. It was also revealed that Mthunzi was Emmanuel's son, but not Deli's, and the show actually did tease the tension between Deli and Mthunzi early on, and I didn't really think it was relevant. Even now, I can't really guess how it'll influence the characters going forward, unless maybe his father will be against him pursuing Buang, while Aunt Deli will maybe support the relationship. I do have to question why the other hostages allowed Spamola to be interrogated by Emmanuel, even though they saw that Mthunzi was taken away at the last minute. That was a bit impractical, along with Buang shooting herself, but it was nice to see Nyakallo advising her sister. Even though it was bad advice, it really gave motivation to her actions. I'm really enjoying this season, and we're barely 10 episodes in. Feel free to leave your reviews of today in the comments. Outlaws Season 2 is streaming every Monday on Showmax. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.